Hey guys, just want to talk to you about if you are new to bow hunting or you are looking at getting into it and you're looking to buy a bow, a few things you should know. First things that you should know are two very important ones which you may not have heard about is draw length and draw weight. Draw weight is where the compound bow is adjusted by a tightening or loosening here to adjust higher or lower poundage, which is the power basically that you are pulling back. Now you may be able to pull back a certain amount of weight, say you may be a bigger person, you can pull back 75 pound, which is what this bow is set to at the moment, but it is unnecessary. It's only for if you need to go for elephants in Africa basically. Now a good comfortable weight if you are around 18, 19 is probably 55 pound, which is what I'm at now, which I've put it down to, because that can take down a deer, anything really that you want to go for, from a good distance as well. Another thing is draw length. Now you can get this measured by a person that knows what they're doing, which is basically tip to tip is how they measure it. I am 29 to 30 inches in draw length, which is simply how far it comes back from the bow to here, and it has to come even like that up to my eye line. It should be resting sort of against my ear, and if it's about here when I'm holding it, it's too short. Some bows don't come with draw lengths long enough for your arms. That's why you should ask someone that knows what they're talking about before you buy it. Make sure that it's going to be the right draw length for you and get yourself measured. Now, aiming. For compound bows, most compound bows have fibre optic sights at the front and a peep sight on the back. Now, the way that works is when you pull this back and look down the peep sight at the sights, it will line up two circles, and going on what range and what distance, it will usually be top pin for 20 foot and bottom pin for around 40 foot. Now you shouldn't have to be taking shots at 40 foot because by the time that the arrow gets to the animal will have gone, and you don't want that. Now another thing is arrow rest. This arrow rest isn't very good. It's called a Whisker Biscuit basically. Well, that's not the brand name, but it's just airbrush rest. These are not good because sometimes the feathers can touch it on the way out, the fletchers, which can cause a little bit of fluctuating in accuracy. I would recommend the two-prong arrow rest, which are just two bits of metal that stick up, or the drop-away rest, which falls away completely and no friction as it's coming out. Now, what I highly recommend is that you get one of these. These are a release aid or trigger, which most people call them, just a bow trigger. They do cost a bit. This one was $55, but it does make the difference. It makes perfect accuracy. The way it works is, clips forward, you clip it onto your bowstring. You get these D-loops put on an archery joint or anywhere, anybody that has the knowledge. And when you've got it pulled back, you pull the trigger. It makes it way better than if it rolls off your finger, like you're pulling back with just your fingers, let go. If it rolls off your fingers, it will make the arrow twist as it's coming out, which can be putting you off only by about half a foot or so, but that could make a huge difference at a longer distance. Now, this part here, most people call it a stabilizer, silencer, whatever you want to call it. It reduces bow vibrations and reduces noise so that you can hunt quieter. Well, yeah, I think that's just about it. That's all I've had to say. Oh, actually, no. There are a few things you should know about the arrows. These arrows are what I find the best around for the money that you get them for. They are the Easton Powerflights. These have a very good reputation, and a lot of people use them because they are accurate, light, and strong. And yeah, they are very good. Like I've never had one break on me. Now, this is another thing you should look into too. Is If your bow is too high poundage for the grain of arrows, it will snap, and if you're very unlucky, it will snap and go through your hand, which you probably don't want. Now, to avoid things snapping through your hand, do not buy these arrows. These are Red Zone, and there's not just Red Zone. Red Zone are a pretty good brand, but the ones that are made in bulk build and not a very good brand, that if they get a little crack in them, they'll snap and then they'll break, which I do not like at all. It makes me freak out because it can go straight through your hand or your wrist or cause a lot of problems. Okay, I think that's pretty much about it, and yeah, I'm Kobe Ray, and that was Tip for Compound Bows.